Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there's some great news. Well, apparently Buzzfeed is going away. It's shutting down. It's not doing good at all. In fact, it's collapsing. Hooray! Finally! And the reason why I am glad that this is shutting down is because they have been a bane and a toxicity to the American people and to anybody that was viewing it for a while now. For years even, and it's good to get rid of them. I remember knowing that BuzzFeed, when I was going around those days, that they were mostly mocked or mostly be with feminist type of BS, that was just terrible in that sense. And there's a lot of reasons why it's shutting down, and we're going to go over it, but to show you guys the legitimate proof, we have this. BuzzFeed News will shut down. Now, the reason why I'm probably showing you guys this from CNN and other places as well, because I would do this, is that showing you that this is not just, a typical thing that's being shown. This is a lot of people talking about it, even political, liberal media stuff. Granted, not probably being shown in the grand scheme of things. Normally what people were going to say with the last video is that, well, Jam reports. You're talking about, they are showing it. They are doing reports on it. They are, talking about these 6-year-old being shot. It's like, yes, but here's the thing. A lot of those things, or a lot of those people that are talking about are all the way down to the bottom. On top of that, why isn't it getting as much coverage as the Yarrow discussion or the Yarrow situation with the kid? Because there's very two comparisons. Also previously before, as I made yesterday, to where there was two comparisons to where what was being talked about with the girl being shot there in her driveway by a white guy or what have you, and then where the Yarrow situation to where that person was was shot by a white person, and a black person was shot by a white person, that gets way more coverage than the other one. And then so we do the same thing here with a 6-year-old being shot by a black person, and nobody talks about it. Nobody's going on the radar or whatever. Not even Fox News is talking about it. Now, granted, we'll give them a few days, but they're silent, and this should be a huge case. You can't be treating certain things as a different side as others, because it's messed up that way. Anyways, we have this. The BuzzFeed News shuts down as parent company lays off 50% of staffers. BuzzFeed News has published its last listicle, the parent company of the site that first gained popularity with lists such as 10 important life lessons you can learn from cats, and also published the now debunked Steele dossier. It's being shut down according to a memo from BuzzFeed and co-CEO Jonah Peretti on Thursday. Peretti said scraping the site was part of a broader shakeup that includes layoff of 15% of staffers company-wide, which amounts to 180 jobs. BuzzFeed Incorporated also owns the online news sites as Huffington Post and the Complex Networks. In a final act of rebellion, BuzzFeed News staffers sent out a public push notification to mobile devices that read, "BuzzFeed News is logging off with a reminder that Blippi pooped on his friend." In 2019, BuzzFeed News reported that Blippi, a popular YouTube children's entertainer whose legal name is Steve John, was seen in a 2013 video defecating on his friend who was naked. Peretti said in his memo that news gathering operations will shift to Huffington Post, which was acquired from Verizon in 2020. For BuzzFeed News, we have begun discussions with the News Guild about those actions, Peretti wrote in the memo, which was obtained by CNN Oliver Darcy. Huffington Post and BuzzFeed.com have signaled that they will open a number of select roles for members of BuzzFeed News, Peretti wrote. Moving forward, we will have a single news brand in Huffington Post, which is profitable, which is a loyal, direct front page audience. Peretti's memo was titled with the subject in line difficult news. As part of today's changes, both our CRO, Edgar Hernandez, COO, Christian Basler, have made the decision to exit the company, Peretti wrote. I'm grateful to both of them for their passion and dedication to Complex and to BuzzFeed Incorporated. Peretti announced that the company president, Marcy Martin, would assume all revenue-related responsibilities effective immediately. The company's new head of sales, Andrew, I was going to call him Andrew because I don't know how to pronounce that last name, and Clint Blom, the head of revenue or operations, will report to Martin according to Peretti. Peretti wrote that the changes are aimed at reducing layers in our organization, increasing speed and effectiveness of pitches, streamlining our product mix, doubling down on creators, and the beginning to bring AI enhancements to every aspect of our sales process. While layoffs are occurring across every division, we determined that the company can no longer continue to fund BuzzFeed News as a standalone organization, Peretti wrote. The CEO listed several factors that have combined to create severe economic headwinds, including a pandemic, a fading SPAC market, and that yielded less capital, a tech recession, and tough economy, the declining stock market, a decelerating digital advertising market, and ongoing audience and platform shifts. Peretti acknowledged that he could manage these changes better as the CEO of this company, and our leadership team could have performed better despite these circumstances. Our job is to adapt, change, improve, and perform despite the challenges in the world, the CEO wrote. We can and will do better. In December, Buzzfeed reduced headcount by some 12% by axing 1,522 employees across 6 continues. Perry wrote in regularly flying that the company would face a severe economic downturn well into this next year. At the time of his initial public offering in March 2021, Buzzfeed was valued at around $9.80 a share. As of Thursday, the company's stock was trading at around 72 cents a share, a 93% decline. Its revenue fell 7.6% in the fourth quarter compared to the same period last year, while its net income nosedived by a whopping 360%. The stock price spiked in January when the company announced it would rather partner with OpenAI to use artificial intelligence to create some content. BuzzFeed said AI would not replace any of the jobs being cut, according to the Wall Street Journal. Peretti has reported come under pressure from shareholders to close down the newsroom, which has been lost millions of dollars in recent years despite winning a Pulitzer Prize in 2021. That's funny because I don't think that prize was actually deserved. See, here's the thing with this, is that people give prizes or awards to people that don't either deserve it or just, for virtue signaling. It's not an actual legitimate prize, so it's, what have you. It's not really mean anything, so despite the company you may be possibly failing. Last year, the newsroom was stunned at the exodus of top executives, including then editor-in-chief Mark Schutz, two of his deputies, Tom Namako and Ariel Kaminer. Now, here's part of the reason why I think that, BuzzFeed is dying. YouTube's newest far-right, foul-mouthed, red-pilling star is a 14-year-old girl, and, they go over here. And then we have YouTube that's downgraded Carl Benjamin Sargon-of-Akkad account after he talked about raping a British MP, which obviously was a joke. Sargon-of-Akkad is a great human being. He is hilarious. He does produce very good content. I don't watch too much of his stuff anymore because it's just he doesn't post on Sargon-of-Akkad as much, and he does Lotus Eaters, so, I don't get the time to watch it, and I mostly just want to watch him instead of, the people that he has around him. I like him specifically, not necessarily the people that he's hosting, but still a great guy nonetheless. BuzzFeed apologized after a hit piece on popular cartoonist misses its mark. So this was in December of 2012. Now, obviously, we're going back, and as I said before, people make mistakes in the past, but it makes sense because, this wasn't just, even though this was made, in 2012 here, that we see here, this was also in I may believe from 2019. This was also in 2019, and it just continues to just do terrible, and they do a lot of lies. So yeah, BuzzFeed is shutting down. It's no longer becoming a thing, and so some type of celebration, I would say, because at this point in time, liberal media is dying, and CNN is also not doing well either. Well, we're probably waiting to see what's going on, but a lot of these liberal medias are crashing or burning, and it's just a matter of time until they completely stop existing. Hopefully we can get more real news out here. I understand that the last video that was criticized, that was from the I would say, George Floyd, and point being made, mistake here. I did make that, so yeah. However, it was still in Chicago, and it's going to get worse. The video that I said before is also in Chicago and how bad it's getting, and what have you. So, BSMA. But my mistake there, regardless, this is the downfall of Chicago was happening. And, all that stuff that's been going on there. And hopefully that it does not escalate to anything worse. Alright guys, that's the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.